Truth Live, good people. Welcome, welcome. Trying to get my camera ready, trying to get it set up. Welcome. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to you. Bear with me just a minute, man. Trying to get this camera set up right. Happy Sunday, good people. Hope y'all can hear me. Hope y'all can see me. Yes, sir. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to another Soul Truth Sunday. Yeah, we live every Sunday here at 9 a.m. Listen, if you're new to the channel, I'm your host, FL, your life coach. Hold on, let me make sure my mic is on. Can y'all hear me? Mic check, mic check. Let me see. Yep, it's on. Yeah, I'm your host, FL, your life coach. And listen, hit that subscribe button so the algorithm knows to push this out to more people so we can help more people free their soul. So listen, man, we just gonna jump right in. Listen, last week I did subconscious programming, right? Part one, right? This is part two. So my intention for this video this week for part two, one, right? To help you identify what the nervous system job really is. So if you see me looking at my notes, I took a lot of notes. I've been studying this all week because that's part of my calling, teaching, right? So I got a lot of notes. So one, I want to help you identify what the nervous system really is, because that's what we're talking about in this video, right? Two, I want to show you how those beliefs get stored in your nervous system in those first 7 years. Three, and four, I'm gonna break down what those triggers really look like in real time when your body goes into flight or fight, right? Right. I'm gonna break that down, what that really looks like in real time, right? And how your nervous system is contracting or expanding in real time. And then five, I'm gonna explain why willpower, vision boards, affirmations alone don't work, right? Because you gotta calm your nervous system down. And then six, I'm gonna give you a practical tool that you can do today to calm your nervous system down that I give to my private clients. Is that okay? Is that okay with y'all? Listen, ask your questions, drop your questions in the comment. If you got questions, drop them in the comments below. You feel me? If you got them, come on. I want to answer them. So listen, man, this is what we about to do, man. We just about to jump right into it right now, right? We about to just get right into it right now and go with it. So if you see me looking down at my notes, like I said, I took 6 pages of notes, good people. I'm really, really wanting to deliver this information for you. And if you got questions, man, leave them in the comment or email me at flthelifecoach@gmail.com. That's FLTHA lifecoach at gmail.com. So let's just dive right in. So the first thing, I got 6 parts to this thing that I want to teach today about the nervous system, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is what is the job of your nervous system. I want you to hear me good when I say this, good people. What is the job of your nervous system, right? So listen, this is what I wrote down. This is what I wrote down. This is the nervous system's only job is to keep you safe. That's it. That's the only job of your nervous system is to keep you safe. It's not to help you get wealthy. It's not to help you get healthy. It's not to help you get abundant, right? Your nervous system is not here to make you rich. That's one of the notes I wrote down. And I circled that real big. Most people confuse what the nervous system job is. It's not here to make you rich, healthy, wealthy. The only job of my nervous system and your nervous system is to keep us safe, right? You got that? That's the first point I want to drive in. That's what your nervous system is here for, to keep you safe. So listen, I wrote this down right here. This is a key point I want you to get before I go to point number 2, right? The nervous system doesn't care if something is true. It only cares if it feels familiar. Let that sink in. It doesn't care if something is true because it can't tell the difference if it's imagined, right? Or if it's a real threat in your environment. Its only job is to keep you safe and keep you in the known, familiar. Why? Because it can predict those outcomes, right? Okay, so now we about to move to section 2. Like I said, I ain't gonna hold you long, babe. I'm finna get in, get out, and then I'm finna tie this all together. If you need more, go back and watch the first episode and then replay this episode over and over. Because I'm gonna help you free your soul, man. I'm gonna help you free your soul from all the trauma, right? So yeah, number 2, how beliefs get stored in your nervous system. Now we know what the job of the nervous system is. Now I'm getting ready to talk about how those beliefs get stored. You remember I said the first 7 years in the last video. That's how it all starts. The first 7 years, fundamental belief system. So this is what I wrote down. When you're a kid or a child, you don't have logic at that point. I want you to hear this. You don't have logic. You don't reason. You absorb. So to answer the question, how does those programs get stored in your body? It's not because your logic mind, it's not because the mind is logical and you can kind of compartmentalize what's going on. At that age, in the first 7 years, you absorb. Remember what I said, what you seen, what you heard, what you experienced, right? That experience part is what your nervous system is absorbing, right? From what you've seen, what you heard in those first 7 years about God, money, health, relationships, right? So listen, that's why I wrote down. So listen, examples of your nervous system absorbing, right? Stress, money stresses in the home. Did you grow up in a home where you always heard money talked about in a lackful way, in a way where it wasn't enough, in a way where it always felt stressful? Your nervous system learned to store that energy. So watch this. So it learned to store that energy, right? So every time now at 30 and 40, you hear conversations, you hear those conversations about money, you hear those conversations about leveling up your income, or say, I see somebody join the room. Shout out to you, baby. Settle in. I'm about to take you to church. So yeah, you hear those conversations, your nervous system, right? It contracts because what you experience, what you absorb, man, I'm going to keep going. I ain't going to get hung up on that, but I'm trying to show you how it gets stored in your nervous system. So another thing I'll put down on here, if you grew up in a home to where you saw your parents arguing a lot, right? That energy, what you seen, what you heard, what you experienced. If you grew up in a home, shout out to somebody else who joined the live, shout out, baby. So if you grew up in a home to where your parents are arguing a lot, right? You absorb that energy in those first 7 years. That type of energy got absorbed in your nervous system. So now, fast forward to 30, 40, 50, right? Right? Now, whenever somebody raises their voice, whenever somebody gets a little passionate, right? Well, look, I'm going to use this in my own personal life. Whenever I raise my voice, whenever I kind of get a little animated with my wife, right? Because she might have grew up in a home where that was stored, right? In her energy in the first 7 years in her nervous system, now that triggers her. So when I say something, I had to learn how to keep my voice calm because that was a trigger for her, right? Because all of that got stored in the nervous system, right? If you grew up in a home to where you were shut down as a kid, now this is important, to where if you grew up in homes where you heard speak when spoken to, am I the only one that heard? Come on now, you know what I'm speak when spoken. Oh, when adults are talking, be quiet. Or if you grew up in a home as a kid where you tried to just express yourself, but that was considered talking back, right? Now you 25, 35, 45. And now every time you're trying to express yourself, or now every time somebody says something to you now as an adult about you communicating, you shut down. Why? Because all that energy got stored in your nervous system, right? So if you was praised only for performing, stored in your nervous system, right? So now at 30, 40, 50, you think you got to perform to receive love. You think if you're not performing, then you're failing. Man, I'm telling y'all what I know. Stored in the nervous system. If you grew up in a home where love felt inconsistent, now anytime something doesn't go your way, or anytime somebody doesn't do what you think they should do, triggers that nervous system. Now you're feeling unloved, or you're feeling like not seen, all because of the first 7 years, right? So that's part two, right? Before we go to part three, I want you to take this line away. Like I said, I got 6 pages of note, good people. I'm really trying to hone in and teach this to you so you can free your soul. This is the key part from part two that I'm talking about, how beliefs got stored, right? First 7 years, what you felt. Remember this, your body, I wrote down, your body learned before your mind understood. I'm going to say that again. Your body learned before your mind understood. Those first 7 years, you don't have a mind that's logical. None of us do. I don't care how smart you was as a kid. In those first 7 years of your life, you don't have a logical mind. So the only way you know what you've seen, you repeat patterns. What you heard, you repeat words. And what you experienced, what you felt, the experience about what you've seen and heard, that's what gets stored in your nervous system. So remember, that's how beliefs become body memory, not just thoughts. That's what I wrote down. That's how your beliefs get stored and they become body memory, not just thought. See, athletes understand this a lot, right? It's something called muscle memory. You know what muscle memory is for athletes? Where they do something repeatedly over and over and over again to where that movement or pattern gets stored in the body or in the muscle. So anytime it gets activated or triggered, the athlete never has to think about dropping their butt, getting low, staying on the balls of their feet, because that memory is stored in their muscles. Your body works the same way with trauma. It's stored in your nervous system. So your nervous system never has to think about it, because the only job of your nervous system, like I said in point one, is to keep you safe, right? So when you self-sabotage, quote unquote, it's not because you're really trying to pull yourself back. Your nervous system is trying to keep you safe from those first 7 years. I'm telling you, good people, this is good stuff. Look, now we going to number 3. Like I said, I ain't gonna hold you long. I'm for to teach this so you can get it and we can get on out of here and enjoy the rest of our Sunday. Point 3, I want to touch on now why triggers hit your body. That's what I'll put down. So now you know what the nervous system job is, to keep you safe. I just said that in point 1. Point 2, now you understand how all of that programming or beliefs get stored. That stored energy in your nervous system, right? By what you grew up in those first 7 years of what you experienced, what you felt, right? The program is running in your mind. And as the program runs in your mind, feelings are coming up. Those feelings get stored in your nervous system, good, bad, or indifferent, right? So now this is why you get triggered, right? So this is what triggers look like in real time. When I talk about fight or flight, this is what triggers you into fight or flight. Pupils dilate, right? Like I said in my last video, go check it out. When you go into fight or flight, your nervous system is, it's a threat. It's a threat. It's scanning the environment. I'm being triggered, right? So watch this. Digestion, right, has a lot to do with people that overthink and are overstressed. Why? Because digestion has to do with rest, right? Digestion has to do with recovery. When you in fight or flight and your nervous system get triggered, your nervous system is only job is what? To keep you safe. It's not thinking about resting. It's not thinking about digesting food. It's trying to keep you safe from that saber-toothed tiger. Now that's a joke. But listen, your nervous system doesn't know the difference between something that you're thinking or a real threat in your environment. So when it's activated, the trigger happens, right? Real time, fight or flight. Pupils dilate. Why do your pupils dilate? Because your nervous system. See how big my eyes is? Look, it's scanning the environment. Your nervous system is trying to scan your environment for the threat to keep you safe. I'm going to say that again. Your nervous system is scanning the environment for the threats to keep you safe. But here's the thing. There's really not a threat in your environment. It doesn't know the difference between thoughts or something really in the environment. So now pupils dilated. It's scanning everything. All the blood stops going throughout your body and it goes to your limbs, arms, legs. Why? Because it really thinks you're in danger. So if you're really in danger, your nervous system has to keep you safe. The way it keeps you safe pumps the blood to your arms and limbs so you can get away. You're running from the saber-toothed tiger. Help! I'm running! Help! But here's the key. There's no saber-toothed tiger. There's nothing chasing you. Your nervous system just feels unsafe. So it goes into fight or flight. So these are some of the real things in real time, right? that you can consider fight or flight. I wrote down so you can see this in real time. So, racing thoughts. You ever had racing thoughts? Fight or flight. Your nervous system is scanning the environment, trying to see danger, 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 danger. We're unsafe. We don't feel safe. So, racing thoughts, tightness in your chest, upset stomach. This is what I just talked about before. People that overthink, overstressors, they have real bad digestive issues. You know how I know? I was that person, right? Acid reflux, all that stuff. It wasn't nothing wrong with my body. That was my nervous system, good people, because I was in fight or flight so long of my life that all the blood couldn't flow to my digestion. My nervous system constantly thought that I was in danger. So it was doing what it was supposed to do, keep me safe, right? Once I poured myself out of that, digestion got healthier, everything. Why? Because it's not time to eat or rest. Digestion is tied to resting. When you're in fight or flight, it's not time to do none of that. Your body, your nervous system is trying to keep you safe. Irritability, shallow breathing, urgency. And another one I put on here, scanning the environment. I just talked about that. Listen, I want you to catch this before we move on. Your nervous system, I already said this before, but I want you to catch this, does not know the difference between a real threat or memory playing in your mind. You got to understand that. It doesn't know. So now, when you in fight or flight, nothing is really threatening you. But now it's your coworkers. That's what it's scanning their environment. Now your coworker is the threat. Your boss is the threat. Your kids are the threat. The deadlines are the threat. Your spouse. And honestly, they're really not a threat. That's your nervous system, because those first 7 years it's been triggered by what you've seen, what you heard, and what you experienced. I'm telling y'all, listen, so when the belief plays in your mind, the body reacts as if it's danger. When the belief plays in your mind, the body reacts as if danger is present, even when nothing is actually happening. I wrote that down in my notes. That's why people stay stuck. I want you to get this. That's why people stay stuck even when their life looks good. I'm going to say that again. That's why people stay stuck even when their life looks good, but doesn't feel good, because they're in fight or flight all the time. Looks good on the outside, but internally, they're always scanning their environment. You ever met those people where you say one thing to them and I ain't mad? You be like, dude, calm down. Why you? Ain't nobody mad at you? Like, dude, bring it down a little bit. They don't even know they're stuck in fight or flight. They've been doing it for so long. Their body has been in that mode for so long, they don't even realize it, right? And now that brings me to my next point, right? My next section talking about expansion and creation. But right before I go there, listen, you know how to get your body out of fight or flight, right? You have to bring it down. You have to calm yourself, right? You have to recenter yourself, right? And I'm going to show you what expansion and contraction really looks like when you're centering yourself, right? I wrote down this so you can understand this. When the nervous system feels safe, expansion, right? That's expansion. When the nervous system feels unsafe, that's contraction, right? Watch this. Expansion looks like creativity, confidence, presence, showing up, fully you, grounded, present, receiving. You're open enough to receive. You're not just stuck on one way. That's expansion. That's your nervous system expanding your energy because it feels safe. Healthy communication. You're not just trying to get your point across to people, right? You're open to receive, right? And then you're able to express your point in a healthy way. That's expansion in real time, right? A calm focus, like I just said, in real time. That's how you know your nervous system feels safe. If you are in any of those modes, calm focus, creativity, your nervous system feels safe enough to do those things. When it's contracting and it doesn't feel safe and it's danger, danger, danger. This is what that looks like in real time. Overthinking. You've been there. You follow me, right? You self-sabotage. So what does that look like in real time? You've been asking for opportunity. You've been praying for opportunity. Man, let me go Eagles, baby. You see my little bird cup? Yes, sir. Go Eagles. So you've been praying for opportunity in real time, asking for one. It shows up. It's exactly what you want, the result, but it does, but the path doesn't look quite the same way. You know what? You self-sabotage. Why? Because your nervous system doesn't feel safe to receive that or scale to that. So even though it's exactly what you want, you disguise it as wisdom or logic. Well, I need to wait. I need to do this, or I need to make an excuse about not doing this, even though it's exactly what you want. That's your nervous system contracting in real time because it doesn't feel safe. Procrastination, people pleasing, you trying to control situations. That's your nervous system contracting in real time. Control is not a part of an expanding nervous system. Remember, the nervous system only job is to keep you safe. How does it keep you safe? By predictability, familiarity. The more familiar that the nervous system can become with the environment, the better chance the nervous system believes it has to keep you safe. The unknown, the nervous system freaks out unless you rewire it to feel safe in the unknown, because that's where the magic is, right? So listen, before I move on to number 5, right? To number 5, we almost done. Number 5, I had about 6 points. Before I move on to number 5, I want you to remember this key line. I wrote this down. Most people don't lack discipline. Most people don't lack discipline. Most people don't lack motivation. Most people don't lack a vision or a plan. They lack safety. Ooh, listen. If I was selling this tape, I'll buy this tape myself, good people. I'm preaching better than what y'all commenting at the bottom. Ain't nobody come. Listen, I'm telling y'all, yeah, that's that preacher in me right there. Yeah, I'm taking y'all to church. I'm gonna say that again. Most people don't lack discipline. They don't lack motivation, a plan, any of that. They lack safety. Your nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to expand. That's all. That's all it is. That's all it is. I'm telling y'all, it's not you. You're not broken. You just have to learn your nervous system and then rewire it. And so listen, I'm going to pause right here real quick because ain't no shame in my game. I'm going to encourage you to go get my 6-part audio series plus matching workbook. Use it or lose it. Click that link in my bio. Get your gift off the sideline and into the game. That's what my product helps you do. My product helps you stop fearing and doubting yourself with your gift and get it off the sideline and stop just trying to serve with it, but start profiting from it and living on you. And listen, if you need to go deeper, right, set up your one-on-one soul truth power session with your boy. Me and you, one-on-one, real conversation, raw healing, authentic results, right? I help you get into that operating system that I'm talking about. Look at those beliefs that are not serving you, uproot them, plant new ones, and give you real tools to calm your nervous system down in real time so you can stop self-sabotaging yourself. 250, me and you, 45-minute Zoom call. Email me to reserve your spot today. FL the Life Coach at gmail.com. That's FLTHA Life Coach at gmail.com. All right, come on. Enough of that. Last point. Point number 5. I'm finna talk about this willpower, right? What I wrote down right now, while willpower doesn't work. Not just willpower, vision boards, affirmations, positive thinking. Those are just the surface level things. They don't work in and of themselves because you got to get to the main thing. That's the nervous system, good people. The belief play in your mind, that energy gets stored in your nervous system. So this is why willpower alone doesn't work. There's nothing wrong with you. You just have to understand how all of this plays together so you can, and where you going. So listen, I wrote down this. I want you to understand this. You cannot out hustle a dysregulated nervous system. I'm going to say that again. You cannot out hustle, grind, or work a dysregulated nervous system. That's number 1. You can't affirm your way past a body that feels unsafe. I'm going to say that again. You cannot affirm your way past a body, the experience that feels unsafe. It's impossible. Your nervous system won't let you. Your nervous system will always, and that's what I wrote down for my last day. Your nervous system will always override your intention. Oh, that's so good. I'm gonna say that again. Will always override your intention. Intention is to do good, to be better, right? To receive more abundance, to grow, all that stuff. All of those things are great intentions. But if your nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to do that, it will always override your intentions. I'm telling y'all, this is why people, and I wrote down this is why people start strong. Watch this. This is why people start strong, then quit. It's not about willpower. You got the willpower. Your nervous system will always override your goals, your vision, your intentions if it doesn't feel safe. This is why most people know what to do. I wrote this down. Know what to do, but don't do it because your nervous system has to feel safe enough or it will override your intentions. This is why people want more, they see more, they know they can be more, but they self-sabotage. Why? Because your nervous system has to feel safe enough or it will override your intentions. I'm telling y'all what I know. That's why willpower has no effect. That's why willpower in and of itself has no effect. But that doesn't mean you're broken. That doesn't mean you don't have it. That doesn't mean you don't have motivation. You just got to learn to calm your nervous system down in real time. So as I get up out of here, bringing me to my last point, man, I hope y'all getting value out of this. Comment below. I can't even see the comment. I'm still trying to figure out how to work all this live. I see it's a couple people join, in the live, but I don't even know how to comment. I don't even know how to see the comments, but y'all can still comment though. I'm learning more and more as I go. We're going to get better and better at it, baby. But listen, as I get up out of here, now I'm going to give you this last practical tool that I give to my clients to help them calm their nervous system down in real time. The last thing is, this is it. The moment you start feeling urgent today, just pause, breathe. It's just a simple breathing technique that I give my clients, right? I'm fit to do it with you right now. So the moment you feel yourself going in fight or flight, or you might already be in fight or flight right now already. That moment that you feel that, breathe, relax, right? Do that with me, right? And I tell my client, you can even put your hand over your chest, right? 4 breaths in, pause at the top, blow out 6. Breathe, good people. 4 breaths in, pause at the top, blow out 6. Real slow. You know what that does? That resets your nervous system, good people. That resets your nervous system. Look, I've been doing this work for over 20 plus years. Something triggers me, I feel it. I start breathing. Now she used to it. She used to be like, babe, what's going on? What you doing? I'm like, oh, man, I'm just breathing. Real time. Calm your nervous system down in real time. That's a real tool that I give my client. So listen, that was part 2. I hope that helped. I know it helped. I ain't going to even say I hope it helped. I know it helped because I set the intention and I laid it out. Listen, next week, I got a special guest for you, though. I got my good buddy, Dr. Larry Ford, Hands to Guide You. He's a mental health behavior doctor. He got his own practice here in Oklahoma. Me and him been friends for over 20-some years. We used to do live conference calls together. He's going to join me next week, right? This is going to be the last part to this, part 3, but I'm going to bring him on here. He's going to talk about some of this stuff and what he gives his actual patients, the real sauce that he gives his actual patients to do this very thing that I'm telling you. So you don't want to miss it. And then we're going to open it up for a live Q&A next week. Dr. Larry Ford, Hands to Guide You, my good friend. You don't want to miss it. Pull up on us next week again. Same bat channel, same bat time, right? So until next time, good people, listen, go enjoy your Sunday. Remember, go get caught up in the first Soul Truth Live if you haven't watched it. Replay it. Replay this one for the second one. And then join us next week with my good buddy, Dr. Larry Ford, Hands to Guide You. He's going to be joining me, and we're going to finish up and breaking this down. He's going to give you more practical tools that he actually gives his actual clients, his actual patients, that he's going to give to you. And then we're going to open up for a live Q&A. So don't just meet us there, beat us there. Until next time, you already know what to do, baby. FL Life Coach, always spreading that peace and love. Twice on Sunday. Go out, attract the life of your dreams. You already know what to do, good people. Dare to be you.